Hello everyone, welcome to the Tipsy Tuesday Talks experience featuring our own winopreneur. Premiering on a Tuesday near you, tune in for Ikara Burnham as she interviews Houston's most upward moving and forward thinking entrepreneurs. But first, go to YouTube and subscribe to the Winopreneur and click notifications to notify you for the newest episodes. Follow Winopreneur, WINEOPRENEUR. Also subscribe to Ag City Media and Legacy Bridge Foundation on YouTube. This week, we welcome Tre Thomas of the Station Seafood Company and the Station Wing Company.
What sets the station apart from every other seafood spot?
From my perspective, what I think sets me apart is just the passion that goes behind the process. I started this business out of a food truck. And the amount of work and determination and the ups and downs, I think you can taste it in the food because I truly care about what my customers are receiving. And other than that, I would say the things that have built my business and sets me apart is we make quality homemade sauces. We have 3 sauces that we make totally from scratch. Okay. The most popular one for all the people who are familiar with the original Catfish Station is called Ooh Wee sauce.
Okay, tell me about that.
So it's a tartar sauce, but it's a doctored up tartar sauce. Okay. It's not a traditional, it doesn't even look like tartar sauce, but that's what it is essentially if you look at the core of it. Mm-hmm. I can't discuss what's in it, but
you have to. You might have to kill us then. I don't have that insurance.
The popularity of the sauce, we knew we had something when there was a customer who came and tasted the sauce. And this was in the drive-thru, and we didn't have a name for it. It was just tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce, all right.
The customer dipped the food in the sauce, tasted it, and the first thing out of her mouth was, "Ooh wee!" And that stuck. I had a partner at the time, and that was the brand. It was Ooh Wee sauce. Ooh Wee sauce. But as you evolve, you know, and you want to, I guess. I want to get corporate though, and so it's just our signature homemade tartar sauce, you know.
So you don't think that is corporate
enough?
enough?
Well, the real thing was, how do you spell it? I couldn't put it in any marketing. W-E-E. So you can't. And that was the issue. Like, man, I could spell it as something different every time. Like, how do you? And then people read.
It's too much.
It's kind of a spoken thing rather than I can't write it. I can't put it on a label.
What would you say is the biggest challenge that you've had to date in your business?
So starting out as Catfish Station, I started in a food truck originally, and that was in 2004. Fast forward to 2011, we opened a drive-through only brick and mortar. It was basically a 300 square foot coffee shop that was converted into a restaurant that was drive-through only. Now at the time, this was in 2011. I like to take credit because now when you go to a drive-through, you really don't even use the drive-through at most establishments. You know, there's attendants outside taking your order. You don't even go through that process. They take your money there on the spot. That was happening with the Catfish Station on 1960, the little orange building, back in 2011.
Wow. So
we would have lines so long that we would have to go outside and take the orders. And coming from a football background, we would say when the line gets long, somebody needs to roll out to the flats. So for people who are not familiar with football, if you're under pressure on the offense and the defense is pressuring you, an outlet for the quarterback who's getting under pressure is usually to throw the ball to the flat, meaning just get it out of your hands and throw it to the closest person. So that was a well-known term. That was terminology that we used that was well-known in that little shop. Like, hey, somebody needs to go to the flat because we got lines. Yeah. And so we quickly became known for lines just reaching all the way out to 1960. And so from there, the popularity of that drive-through only restaurant, we morphed that into our first dine-in location, which was a 2,000 square foot building off of Huffmeister. That's what most people kind of know me for is the opening of that store as well. And then there was another store that was open in Spring off of Kirkendall and Louetta.
I think I remember that one.
So at that point, there were 3 catfish stations. I was approached with the opportunity to franchise in 2017. At the time, I had 3 restaurants. Didn't really know much about franchising, but I trusted a person to come in and kind of help me develop franchising. The challenge was maintaining the integrity of the brand while duplicating it,
right,
and allowing other people to operate it. And so it lost some of its integrity, and the quality went down.
I don't even know if anybody has been able to do that besides McDonald's.
Well,
and Chick-fil-A. But Chick-fil-A was private. I mean, like, they just franchised.
They just started franchising.
So I'm like, that's so difficult.
It's tough. But the most challenging part was to maintain the integrity of the brand. And seeing how developing multiple franchises so quickly caused the deterioration of that integrity, I decided to rebrand my original flagship store to the Station Seafood Company, just to create separation from Catfish Station.
Gotcha.
And because I couldn't afford for you to go to a Catfish Station, have a less than favorable experience,
right, and
then not come to my Catfish Station.
Right.
So the best thing for me to do was try to separate. So the challenge is the rebuilding of a brand. Like, I didn't realize how many legs and veins were out in the community associated with Catfish Station. And so to try to create another brand off of that this is the work. And so that's why I'm grateful for being a part of your platform, is to just educate people on what's really going on, and to know that both brands are associated with me. And I'm battling the experience of Catfish Station versus Station Seafood Company, but the original ownership is, and the original concept is the Station Seafood Company. Okay. That's being run by me, the founder.
Good. And that is a need to know.
Yes, and that is the biggest challenge, though. I underestimated how regrowing a brand it really is, or how hard that really is. And so it's almost like I'm starting over from scratch. So welcome to the station.
Exactly.
And welcome to the family, which is another thing we say in the store. Like, I'm so entrenched in my business that I consider everybody comes in there family. Yeah, it's hugs and handshakes every time.
Hey, that's the way we do it out here.
Yes, ma'am. That's what it is. I'm gonna quit calling you ma'am.
I don't mind. I told y'all eventually I'm gonna be a sexy mama,
you know. I'm used to doing all the time. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay.
What's your jam in your business? Like, what's your favorite thing you like to do?
Oh, without a doubt, it is interacting with the customers. I find something genuinely interesting about everybody who walks in that store. Whether it's a woman with a bonnet and flip-flops on, or a bad example, or you know, just anybody who walks in my store, I take a genuine interest in them. Like, I'm so overwhelmed that they chose to come spend this time and their money with me. Like, I'm never taking that for granted again. And so, to a point, my employees are starting to tell me I need to back off, because there was a 2 or 3 week period I got COVID, and it was my parents' birthday, and also I was out for like 2 or 3 weeks. And when I came back, my employees were like, "Oh, you're back," because everybody comes in here and the first thing they say is, "Where's Trey?"
So what would you say is your biggest triumph?
For me in the moment right now, being able to be a brand that has survived COVID. Yes. I've seen major brands fall. I've seen great concepts crumble. And to still be in this thing is nothing more than faith, grace from God, and just the determination to keep at it. Like, I can't quit. So for some reason,
never.
I don't know how to quit.
Never.
And so that's I consider that the triumph. Just being here, just still being in this food business, and then even now, the economy is up and down. There's a lot of uncertainty. So I'm just hoping that some of the things that I stand on, the quality of the food, the customer service and the way I just present and show up in this space will be enough to sustain me through whatever's on the horizon. Because I really feel like the market is doing something.
Yeah.
I can't identify it right now, but I can't forecast the way I used to. It's just, so if you have some extra income and you want to not eat your own food, come see me. We got you.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. And it's also making me morph into other areas like bar, alcohol sales. So, and we can discuss that as well. But that's my biggest tripe, is that I'm still here.
What's the funniest thing or the strangest customer you have ever had?
At the drive-through location, there was a guy, you know those, you see him in the grocery stores, they have those carts, right? The wheelchairs.
The little scooters.
Right.
Right.
So this guy is riding through the parking lot on 1960 in the shopping center and just wheels right up to the drive-through. And I'm like, all right.
He said he need his snacks. Okay.
That's right. And I mean, he got it and skeeted off wherever he was going. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
He drove through.
Yeah. So that was, and we saw him coming like all the way down. And just, I'm like, okay, he just, but I knew something had to give because there's no sidewalks, bro, at the and you cruising, but he was coming to see us. And I was like, this is real. This is real. So that was one.
That lets you know your food is good.
And more recently, at the bar. So I am the bartender for now. So if you want to come politic, talk, we can all do that. I had customers yesterday. They came in, they were dressed nice. They attended a funeral. It gets better. Well, a funeral. They went to heaven is good. So they're coming in and we're just at the bar and I'm thinking, okay, a funeral, they're just getting over the grief and sorrow, but they're like very jovial, like overly. I'm like, a great life, right? That's a great life. So here's the story. They were Caucasian. And they were attending a African-American funeral.
Well, I'm sure they had a lot to laugh about.
Well, no, listen. So they kind of knew the guy, but it wasn't like, they were just paying their respects.
Okay,
they knew of this guy. They go in and they're like one of the first people to arrive. So there's no programs. There's no stuff there yet. They
Not
just
even a church band.
Right. So they just walk in and then as the service starts, this is a father and son that I'm talking to. As the service starts, the son tells the father, he's like, I don't think that's Mr. Jesse. And the father's like, well, he had cancer, and they walked up to the casket, prayed, touched him there, and then they go back, sit down, and the son's like, I don't think that's Mr. Jesse. And so they get up and go and talk to somebody, who's passing out the now programs. It's not Mr. Jesse. They won 1 week early.
Oh Lord.
So they're at the wrong funeral.
1 week early.
And so I had a lot of questions. I'm like, wait a minute. The program, you made it through the program. And so that's when they explained to me all these things that made, that's right. So I'm like, how did you even walk? And I'm like, you don't know, but it made sense because, the different ethnicities and they didn't really know the guy like that. But we ended up sitting at the bar for about 2 hours. I'm drinking with him. I'm like, man, that is hilarious. And strangely enough, the family appreciate them coming. What? Like the grieving family got a kick out of it. Like it was a whole thing. But just to hear that, I was like, man, what a story.
We done sat through a whole funeral and then figured out. But see, that lets you know us with these programs how we do things. Ain't that like the first thing that's supposed to be there?
I'm like, you done made it through the whole
The programs was in the car with the family car, so it didn't get there until halfway before the
I had all
funeral.
the questions. I was like, you ain't see nobody, nothing, and they were just and walked around the casket and then the son was like,
Mr. Jesse.
that's him. And the father was like, nah, well, he had cancer. So,
Lord,
hilarious. So we got tipsy yesterday.
I'm sure you did. You had a good time. Mm-hmm. Now, that'll make anybody have a good time. What advice would you give people considering creating franchises or getting into any type of franchise?
The most important thing if I could go back and talk to myself, is just slow down, and anything that you're doing is going to take time. Results in any endeavor takes time, and just trust God and do what you're good at, and give it time. That's it. I mean, that's the most sound. I mean, so many times I gotten anxious. I gotten ahead of myself, even with the franchise. And we opened 10 stores in 2 years. That in itself was a bad decision, right? So I've learned to give myself grace for my bad decisions, and just stay the course and trust God and trust the time that I'm given.
Do you have any events or upcoming projects or products that you want us to know about? Can you tell us about those?
Happy hours, and if you're looking for a great event space to just be around family, that's really what I'm promoting at this point. Like I said, with the economy, it's up and down right now, but I think again, COVID, we gonna drink, right? We gonna drink. I'm trying to create, again, a vibe and a feel for collaboration, collective thinking, and I want people to come have beverages and just leave with great ideas and inspiration to just lift up the whole ship. Like, let's get together and eat good, drink good, and collaborate. That's really what I'm pushing for my space to kind of morph into. Right. And if you ever come in and I'm there, like that's what you're gonna get.
So it's like good food, good boat, good drink.
That's right.
Good times.
and I keep it all 90s to early 2000s R&B.
Yeah, I heard
and
your
hip-hop.
playlist was amazing.
Absolutely. The playlist is a thing. But yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But you're welcome to come in. I mean, it's very personable. If you got a playlist, I will plug your phone up into our system, and we will vet your playlist song for song.
Song for song.
Because that's the thing with us, you want to be the first one, but I bet you ain't heard this, right? Like, I get a lot of that. But what about this jam? So I just want people to come have fun. Happy hours from 3 to 7. Oh. And yeah, and be in bed by 9. I'm too grown to be out.
Drink early.
We close at 9.
Sleep early.
Go home. Go to your family. Just stop in on the way home. Shake the dust off. Off your workplace. Get all that energy off you, and go home happy, man. Love on your wife and your kids, or whatever you do, and just know you came from the station. They're gonna want to send you there tomorrow because you came home so nice.
So happy, that's right. What's your next business move? I know you talked about the bar, and I don't remember the station being a bar. I know you have like the daiquiris and everything, but like, what's your next business move?
I'm focusing on again maximizing the space to become known for professionals to just come share ideas, kind of expand what we're able to do as a people. Like, just get people to come. Cause when we come together and we start talking, it's just things happen. So we have a signature daiquiri. And it's a liquor infused daiquiri. So the difference is a lot of daiquiris are made with rice wine, and that's because these companies don't have a mixed beverage liquor license.
Exactly.
They have a beer and wine license, so they use
a wine base.
Wine base, and that gives it like a kind of a foreign tart. It's just not.
Yeah, it's a brassy little flavor in the back.
And it just doesn't sit well, and it's usually overly sweet. You get
all
that stuff. So at the station, we use real premium liquor in our daiquiris. And the daiquiri that is quickly becoming the most popular, we call it a train wreck.
All right.
So my logo, like I mentioned, is a fish sitting up on top of the Soul Train. And we make a daiquiri called the Train Wreck. And it's a mixture of 4 different flavors topped with a premium liquor of your choice. Hennessy, Crown, Tito's, whatever it want to be.
Right.
And the limit is 2.
It should be. Yeah. my thing going forward in life is to not have to work a day in my life going forward. And they say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Yep. So, what do you love most about your business or what you're doing? Or are you even doing what you love?
Great question. Absolutely 100% love what I do.
You're doing what you love.
Yes, I've tried. And even now, like I said, with this economy, I'm entertaining other options. Like, okay, let me try to pick up something else to do to kind of ease this growing pains I'm going through right now. But no matter what, I always come back to I would do this anyway.
That is what I'm talking about.
I would do this anyway.
What do you love most about what you do?
The people.
There you go.
The people, man. If we could just tap into each other's energies and like understand what that means. Like I could be having the worst day and somebody is gonna come pour into me something. Or vice versa. I see people come in and it's just heavy on them. And just to say something to make them giggle or smile, that's a lost art. And I enjoy doing it. Like, I try to find something good about every situation I'm in. And every person that walks to that door, I'm going to find something nice to say.
Well, we're going to get into this wine some more because, we had this, we tried it by itself. So now it's time. The way you experience wine, of course, like I said, you experience the scent. It's to be.
I'm experiencing just a little.
Yeah,
one more little.
It's to be experienced with all, 5 senses, honey? But we're going to do the taste and the smell and the sight. We're experiencing Avincera, right? Avincera.
You know, I didn't pour it through mine.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see.
Okay.
But it's been open a while, so you should be good.
Same. Okay.
Yeah. So it's letting.
So you can duplicate that just by letting it.
Yeah.
So when you recork it, let's say me and my wife are enjoying some wine, and Netflix and chill happens right here.
There you go.
Right.
You can So you can recork.
It might be like this till in the morning. We just left it on the.
That's okay if you leave it overnight.
So it's cool. It's not gonna sour.
No.
Okay.
No, but the best, they have different devices. And I have one, but we don't sell that one anymore. But anyway, I'll put some references of different ones. But there's corks that you can put on and it pumps the air out. So that removes all the air out of the wine. And then you just put it in the fridge and it'll keep for weeks. Yeah. And that way it'll be just as fresh. And you take it out, you let it sit out.
So pump the air out before storage.
Right. That's the best way. Now you can just pop a cork in it, but you're gonna have to drink it in a couple of days. You probably will. But I'm just saying if you want, if you're not if you're one person and you like this bottle of wine and you don't have nobody to drink it with and you're not a bottle drinker, like right away, then they do have different apparatuses where it corks it and then it pulls the air out. So then and then when you pop it, it'll break the seal. Well, so now we tasted it by itself. Okay. We opened it up. We're gonna taste it with some food. Yeah. That's the best way to experience it too. Sip, nibble, sip. Remember that.
Sip, nibble, sip.
And then we'll experience it in a cocktail. See, wine ain't just for drinking out of a wine.
I get it. I got a lot of stuff to take home.
Oh, look at Alice. She finna be on TV. Hold up. Let me pour you a little bit more. Yes, here come Mama. She making her TV debut. We're making the winey smoky pineapple. All right, we're putting some pineapple chunks in here. Gonna muddle a few. Pull them all in now. We're taking, since this is 2 drinks.
What is this?
This is mezcal. So this is our smoky flavor to go with our smoky snacks up there. So it's
for the novice out here. That is
2 ounces
wine.
of mezcal. It is a smoky tequila. It is tequila.
Oh,
we are topping it off with wine.
Real.
This is a cocktail.
We finna drink.
Yeah, we gonna drink.
Okay.
I didn't bring you to a rookie.
I'm thinking. I'm a mixologist.
I thought it. Okay. Yeah. This is.
So this is This is about 2 ounces of mezcal. Okay.
I would not take that shot. If somebody was like tequila shots, that ain't it. But
this right here It's some simple syrup. It's a lemon simple syrup, okay? And we are putting that in there. I feel like I need more syrup. And then 1 whole lime.
Excited. Everything has been so good. Like, why shouldn't I be? I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh, it smells good, honey.
That's
a little bit of our crushed black pepper. We're going to sprinkle that in there. I'm going to use my hand. So, there we go. Black peppercorns. Ooh, okay. You want it to be real sugary. Well, we ain't going to use all this sugar. There you go. Simple syrup. And now I'm going to muddle these. You know what muddling is? You use this thing and you crush everything together. Your pineapples and stuff. Ooh, it smells good.
It does. It's amazing.
It smells so good. Put it in now. Now we shake. I need leverage.
Yeah.
Yes. Turn it on. I'm not finished now because we got to have our wine with it now.
Oh, we're going to add wine into this.
Yes, sir.
You're in trouble, Jess.
We doing the most.
Think we ain't when we are?
It's a great afternoon.
There's nothing better than daytime drinking. Again, going back to our age and what time is bedtime.
Ain't nothing better
Catch
than
me
it.
anytime from 11 a.m. to 6. Prime drinking hours.
Are you paying attention to this for your date night?
I'm sorry.
Sugar. Now we get all fancy and crafty.
The upside down spoon pour.
Ain't that pretty?
Now, is that just for effect, or does that aerate and gyrate?
That's to keep the wine on top.
Oh.
It's a floater.
I see that.
Let me give you a little bit more wine. God dog it.
I got you.
See, that's why they have cuts.
That's Sean Ray's job.
All right. Chin. Sean, you got us? Yes.
It looks amazing. Let's see how it
Tell me if
tastes.
you're going to keep it at the bar. Oh, my whole Jesus.
It's good. You will be drunk. You can't drink.
Okay, let's taste it with this.
Yeah.
Smoky drink, so. Oh, that's good. That totally
Made it better.
that made the drink.
That's right.
Pop
You gotta have this
with that.
Right.
Amazing.
I'm not really a tequila drinker, so I was kind of overwhelmed with tequila, but
Oh my god.
that's it.
That's it.
Mhm.
It's a wrap.